good at processing generative AI calculations? And how has Nvidia been able to sustain its lead even as demand reaches a fever pitch? And Nvidia dominates the AI chipset market. But what has Nvidia been able to sustain its lead even as demand reaches a fever pitch? Nvidia's chipsets so good at processing generative AI calculations?
Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delays tonight. Had some technical difficulties. I was trying to run some different videos, but obviously I couldn't. What you saw at the beginning, if you were here at the beginning, was basically you saw Seven Palms Elite. Inside Vista Cana, they have 1-bedroom units for $99,000. That's a great deal inside Vista Cana with all those amenities. But also the stock of the day, Nvidia. What has happened, ladies and gentlemen? As of right now, if you had after hours, you could have bought the Nvidia stock at $116 and roughly 90 cents, 99 cents, $17 even. And that means a great win for a lot of people. A 10% downside today happened. And therefore, tomorrow, what will happen after the recoup? We got a lot to talk about. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again because, it's part of the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And I greatly appreciate you being here and smash that like button so the YouTube gods know that you're in the house. And the rest of the other platforms, make sure you hit the like button, the heart button, the subscribe buttons, all of the buttons that help us get to the masses. Because a lot of people are walking through life not understanding that they have a way to make money work for them while they are working hard. And that's going to be key going forward. You're going to have to make over $200,000 per year as a household income in about 3 years. I have some other bad news for everybody because once again, I am Mr. Cold Hard Facts as well as the founder of SSN Nation. We have to keep it real so that way you can make preparation and plans. That's part of being prepared. Now, let's see who's in the house tonight. Victor Marrero is here. The Mr. Worldwide Tour man is here. He's going to be going around. He's now retired. He's done the damn thing, made all the right investments, has the passive income coming in so he can be anywhere on the planet. Welcome to the party and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it out. NVDA. That's N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, D as in David, A as in Apple for everybody on podcast. You might want to pay attention because why? When Nvidia went down, guess what else goes down? Apple, AMD, Workforce, Snowflake. That's right. Why do they go down? Once again, this is very, very cool. This is all predictable, but I love it. 117. Look, I'm prepared this time, ladies and gentlemen, because I was in there late this afternoon. So I said, hold on, let me see what's going down. I was there this afternoon. Advantage. Have to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. Have to. Hold on. It's nighttime. Forgot. Look at this. 116.55 is what it closed at 8:50, 9 p.m. at night, literally. Oh, in fact, it's still overnight trading. It's gone down 7.37% total. Look at this. Overnight trading is still going. I didn't even know Robinhood had overnight trading. It's dropping. This could get down to 115 again. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. This is just like when it went down to 91, 95, 100, and people were still sitting on the sidelines. Now you have another chance at 116. And here's the thing. We're about to get into this, but first, before I get into what we're going to talk about tonight, we have a lot more because our own Professor Auntie Val and family has their own beachfront Java. That's coffee and tea, premium blend coffee. We have to show some love for our own entrepreneurs out here, our own members of the channel. You got to go show some love. They have 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, 5 pound bags of whole bean in case you like to crank it up yourself. She has the fine ground in case you're that aficionado for espresso. She has the drip ground, which is the ones at the office usually, and the Keurig cups. She has that as well for the coffee and its premium blends. Indonesia, Africa, South America, Central America. That's where you get the best beans, ladies and gentlemen. That's what she uses in Ziploc fresh bags. So it's always fresh, always ready to go. And then what did she do? She did the next best thing, expanded to tea. So not only does she have about 15 to 20 different varieties of coffee, now she says, let me get some tea in the house. So she has everything you need just in time for the fall because it's still summertime. But in about another month, you're going to wish you had some tea in certain locations around the world. So get yours now and put in that promo code SSN Lifestyle, all capital letters. Because after your first order, you get a discount for life and free shipping in the United States. What more can you ask for? Now, get over there and order at Beachfront Java as we're doing this live stream because you can listen to what we're saying here. Now, Victor Marrero, once again, thank you so much for being in the house tonight. Let's get to it because I know Victor Marrero, he's an aficionado of the stock market. I know he has some play on Nvidia because you have options. You can go to Yield Max ETFs and you might say, well, Eric, I don't really care if it goes from 116 to 136. That's fine. How about getting some dividends every month, every year, getting about 20 to 30% on your money? NVDLY. You can go over to Yield Max ETFs and see what the return is. And they do things a little bit different. The option money coming in is part of it. Treasury bills is another part of it. Go look and see what they do. All right. But here's the kicker. It's high risk, high rewards, because if somebody tells you they're going to give you 30, 35, 40, 45% returns annually, you ought to look at them with the side eye like, what am I risking here? What are you guys doing? Do your own research, study, make sure that's where you want to be. Victor Marrero says, great opportunity to buy Nvidia now at current price before it takes off. Everyone's expectations, the stock are too high. They beat sales and revenue, but not by huge, crazy numbers as some expected. Well, Victor Marrero, this is exactly what I want to talk about. This is what I love. This is what I love about the stock market because the big boys give everybody a chance. Because Victor Morrell said exactly what the big boys say. They say it didn't reach it or beat their numbers by a huge amount. But I say, step back, hold on. This is great for them. Some of them are shorting the market. They're making money as we speak right now, even overnight as the stock goes down, because they shorted, making sure they're betting it goes down. Well, their bet is correct. So they're winning. So that's what they're going to say. But they realize who's going to sell their shares? The ordinary citizen, because they haven't done any research. They're sitting there going, well, wait a minute now. This thing, I bought in at 110. It went up to 128. Yeah, it dropped to 120, 118, 119, 117. Damn, I better sell this. Meanwhile, the big boys, us, OCs, the members here in the SSN Nation, we say 116. Where can we buy some more? Give me some more. Give me some more, right? There's a reason. We'll get into that shortly. I love this Nvidia situation because this is one of those once in a blue moon that has a whole sector that moves with it. That's what I love about this Nvidia, because this is a lesson for the future. This is great. This Nvidia software is a specialty software. They are coming out with their new upgraded version at the end of the year. You know what that means? That means next year, these same multi-billion-dollar companies will have to give Nvidia some more money. Hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, just so they can stay up, so their competitors who are using those chips, their software, their hardware can stay up. Because again, you let your competitors get 2 years ahead of you, you're smoked out. You could be done. Seriously. All right, let's get into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? I want to break in the Investors Business Daily. The reason why I like Investors Business Daily occasionally, is because they do things based on a certain amount of hours that goes by, because they understand the stock market is an ongoing thing. If you have capabilities to do overnight trading, which apparently I didn't even know Robinhood did until I just realized it was 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? And it says overnight. I never even realized they did overnight trading. And they're down to $116.59, $116.50. This is where it's hovering. This could go down even more, because tomorrow morning, what's going to end up happening, some people have margin calls. Right now, they're sitting there like, damn, and they don't have overnight trading for their margin calls. So they're sitting there like, as soon as this market opens in the morning, I got to get some funds. I have to either sell or I have to get some funds into my account. Take your pick. It's a win-win for no matter which side of the fence you're on. Now, let's get into this right here. This is special. I love this. This is a case study. That's stuff right here. This is what Victor Morrell is talking about. The company earned an adjusted 68 cents a share on sales of 30 billion in the quarter. This is January, February, March, April, May, and June. April, May, and June. The quarter. 30 billion in sales. Oh my God. Analysts polled by FactSet had expected earnings of only 65 cents. And they beat both expectations, but their stock went down. But here's the kicker right here, ladies and gentlemen. Who in their right mind, year over year, is not happy with 152% return? Which person would not be happy if they're holding the stock last year to this year and get 152%? That's why this is very, very hilarious to me, because the point is, year over year, they done doubled and a half their earnings. Now it's 30 billion. Just what all of the analysts, just what Bank of America says. The reason why they are giving this a price point target of 145, 150, 155 is because they doubled and a half. If they double again in a year, how much is their stock worth? Clearly more than 150, right? So what's it going to be next year if they're able to have 60 billion in a quarter? Then what? You're going to say, well, they underperformed. This is what we expected. I'm just like, as a stockholder, I'm happy as hell. Keep on doing it. Keep doing this slow bit by bit stuff. I don't really care what these guys are talking about on the quarter. Let's talk about year over year, because this is absurd. Who would not like 152%? So anyhow, NVIDIA's fiscal report marked its fifth, look at this, fifth straight quarter of triple-digit percentage gains on a year-over-year basis. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a year. That's more than a year. That's a year and one quarter. Do you understand? Triple digits is over 100%. The way they're going, this next little drop at the end of this year for their next, I think it's called Black Knight or something like that, software, all these guys who already bought has to catch up. Or, well, they don't all have to, but they better. So they're going to have to do business with them. So that means all of these accumulated customers, if they've accumulated 30 some billion in a quarter, if they accumulate $100 billion a year, they're going to make $100 billion next year. That's how simple. This is simple mathematics. There's no way around it. For the current quarter, NVIDIA forecast revenue of 32.5 billion, topping expectations of 31.7. In the same year, last year, NVIDIA posted sales of 18. Again, 1.5% in revenue, 150% in revenue is all I'm saying. This is absurd. I mean, this is beautiful. NVIDIA stock dropped more than 5% to $118.24. And year to date through Wednesday, NVIDIA stock is up 154%. This is even better. 154% in the last 8 months. Seriously, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Who would not like that type of number? So this is why all the analysts say, watch out. This is going to rock and roll. So here's what happened at 6:15 p.m. today, Eastern time. This is roughly 3 hours ago. CEO Jensen Huang reaffirmed his view that NVIDIA is playing a critical role in major technology trend. We are at the beginning of our journey to modernize $1 trillion worth of data centers from general purpose computing to accelerated computing, he told analysts. See, ladies and gentlemen, here's the plan. This is a plan. Now, some people may argue, like myself, data centers are somewhat passé because it depends on what you're going to be doing with these data centers. If it's going to be people intensive or not, because people intensive don't need to be at the data centers. So we're going to find out. But general purpose computing, accelerated computing, but NVIDIA stock was down roughly 7% at 6:15. Now it's down even more, 9% total. This is getting like a bloodbath. I love it. I love it. It's blood in the streets. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to show you this part. The enterprise AI wave has started, she said, among other companies using NVIDIA AI technology. Get familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Accenture, which is ACN. A is in Apple, C is in Charles, N is in Nancy. Amdocs, which is DOX. SAP, SAP, ServiceNow, NOW, Snowflake. You know what happened with all these? You can probably go look. I bet you they went down. Isn't that kind of funny? But these are 500 companies. Here it is. NVIDIA now is working with most of the Fortune 500 companies on AI initiatives. Okay. I'm going to do this. Total market value of Fortune 500 companies in 2024. Let's see if the Google gives us this. Or shall I say AI? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you want to know what the number is? 43 trillion. In total, Fortune 500 companies represent 2/3 of the U.S. GDP. 2/3 of the US GDP means the Federal Reserve and the government works for who? Are you guys understanding the situation now? All you have to do is ride on the coattails. You have to ride on the coattails. And now 43 trillion, and they employ 10% of the population. 31 million people. Are you guys getting this yet? US GDP with 18.8 trillion in revenues, 1.7 trillion in profits, 43 trillion in market value. They can borrow a lot of money. And I want to say, speaking of borrowing a lot of money, can you believe that these guys are out here doing this? You know what Nvidia is going to do? Let me see if they talk about it. Nvidia is going to buy back their own shares of stock to the tune of, it's either 50 million or 50 billion. I don't remember which one it is, but it's a lot of money. Here it is right here. Oh, man, look. Nvidia announced an additional 50 billion share repurchase program without expiration at the end of the July quarter. That is the third quarter. It had 7.5 billion remaining under its previous share repurchase authorization. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is going to happen with that stock? And all the rest are going to ride right with them. The snowflakes, the SAP, Docs, they're all coming. And SMH, which is ETF, they're coming because they're holding some of these companies. TSMC, AMD also inside. So these guys are rolling. They don't need your help. They're just going to buy their own shares, increase their own price of the shares. They're probably buying as we speak right now, buying back some of these things overnight so the price won't jump. I mean, let's get real. This is crazy right now. This has all the signs of a bull run for Nvidia. You have to understand what they're doing. By the way, we were talking about Nvidia like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was under $100, just so you guys know. All right? Just so you know. And it's already split 10-1. So what you're seeing right now would be $1,116. All the way from 40, 50 bucks. Like just 3 years ago. All right? It was around there somewhere. Just off the top of my head while I'm thinking. We were talking about AMD. We were talking about chip manufacturing companies. TSMC, a bunch. There was even more. We were talking about snowflakes. We were talking about a bunch of stuff. People were like, hell no, why? You're already ahead of the curve all the time. You just got to get with the program. You have to do your own research. You have to believe. And by the way, here it is right here. We ship customer samples of our Blackwell architecture. I thought it was Black Knight, but Blackwell architecture in the second quarter. That means just recently. She said in the written statement, we executed a change to the Blackwell GPU mask to improve production yield. That's significant. Continue into fiscal 2026. In the fourth quarter, we expect to ship several $billion in Blackwell revenue. This is what we're saying. Do you guys understand? You are in what I call, not we, it's the bull run for the computer age. From the 90s up until around 1999. The bull run. When all of these microcomputer companies and software companies, they were golden. All the companies were doing, it seemed like 1,000 times their earnings. It was just incredible until it wasn't, until it crashed, because it wasn't the real narrative. There wasn't equipment to put in all these softwares and people to use all the hardware. So it fizzled, it blew up. But in this case now, they have hardware everywhere, except you don't have their hardware. You don't have NVIDIA's hardware, and you don't have NVIDIA's chips. That is a monopoly on a large scale. And they have, what was that? Top 500 companies control trillions of dollars. So what is a billion or 2 or 10 or 20 or 50 when you have trillions? Nothing. How many billions do you need for a trillion? It's not 10, ladies and gentlemen. It's not 100 either. How about 1,000? So do you understand? 17 billion, 10 billion, 5 billion, 3 billion is nothing. They're going to deploy that arsenal of money to Nvidia because they're not going to get left behind. Just like you wouldn't get left behind if you were in competition with them. You have to understand this is a pivotal point. I was going on a little tangent, but I had to because people don't understand. This isn't rocket science just by looking on the outside in. You can just stay on the outside and realize who's the players. Once you understand who the players are and why a business would do what they're doing, just like if you're in business and your competition comes out with a more efficient way of doing it, which means they laid off 20 people and all they need is 5 people. Meanwhile, you still need 30 people to do the same job and you're still behind. You all of a sudden, you're going to like, wait, what are they doing? Because efficiency wise, we're spending all this money and these guys only have 5 people working for them and they're still outpacing us. You're going to figure out what they're doing. You're going to have to deal with it or you'll be out of business. It's the same rules with all these high-stake companies that control billions of dollars, trillions of dollars collectively. So just keep this in mind. All right, here we go. Victor Morero, he's on it. I saw a great opportunity. But I see Joe Nays here. Hold on a second. Let me go back up just to make sure. I'm going to have to start over. Great opportunity to buy Nvidia is what he's saying. I agree with this 110%. Now at current price before it takes off, I agree. Everyone's expectations for the stock are too high. They beat sales and revenue, but not huge, crazy numbers as some expected. And then let's see here. Everyone needs to chill with expectations. Nvidia is a long-term player. I listened on the earnings call this afternoon, and their forecasts for 2025 and 2026 are insanely great. They're all over it. Yeah, I know, Victor Morero. I know. People, I didn't even want to get into that because then that brings up too much expectations. Because again, we don't know. There's always factors in a capitalist system. I just want to deal with right now in the next 6 months, because in the next 6 months, we know companies that are worth combined $43 trillion is giving billions to Nvidia. That's all we need to know right now in the short term. And if this takes you from $116 to $175 or $200 per share, hey, that's 20, 30, 40% on your money within a year. That's worth consideration. If they continue to do it through 2026, then yes, the shares are going to be way more than $200. It'll be $250 to $300. It'll be doing another 150% year over year. If what happens is about to happen, where 2025 and 2026, next year this time, they should have 60 to 75 billion from these $43 trillion of market cap space that these other 500 companies have. So this will be very interesting how this all plays out. I like it. I like it a lot. They're all over it. He's right about that. They're all over it. And they're doing the smart thing. Running out going, hey, we have our new Blackwell after they have already accumulated 30 billion. They've waited and said, okay, we need to fix some things. We're taking our time, knowing they're still ahead, knowing people still have to buy from them, and knowing nobody else has that technology. See, and now they're going to be able to improve more. How much of this money that they receive is on R&D? How many other companies are being able to spend like 20, 30 billion dollars annually on R&D? Just asking for the other companies. That's why they can't do this. They're getting an influx of money just off of their business dealings. Never mind the stock pricing. Never mind whatever other avenues of money making ventures they have. So think about that. This is very powerful position that they're in. Very cool. All right, Joe Nay, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name. Another golden investor is here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. If you're trying to get in the chat room on Wednesday night, you can't. You have to become a member of the channel, not subscriber. That's free. A member of the channel actually helps the channel financially, which I greatly appreciate. But that's the only way you can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. On Friday night and Monday night and any other live stream, you can join us. no problem. But tonight, this is it. So Joe Nay says, good evening, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is healthy tonight. That's right. Wealth and health goes together. And he brings the rest. I'm going to wait a little longer and see what happens. Nvidia, if it goes down some more, but please believe I'm prepared to buy. See, Joe Nay, he's in a different category. He was one of those people that jumped in at 91, 92. So for him, buying at 116 is like dollar cost averaging your way up. I don't even like that. It's like, I just feel dirty when I have to dollar cost average up, knowing that I should be buying more. And I'm like, I got to buy some more at a dollar cost average up. It's always a lot easier to buy when dollar cost average is down. But unfortunately, it's not going down to $80. That's for sure. I mean, $90 again, I don't see how that can happen. Something catastrophic would have to happen. Like all of a sudden the Blackwell design has a structural problem. And so therefore they can't deploy it. So then that would set back orders. That would also mean that allows your competition to catch up. So that's about catastrophic as you can get. So I can understand his point of view. But everybody else who has not invested yet, or your dollar cost average is almost 16. If 114, so what? You need more shares. That's no deal. But if you're like 91, 93, 95, it's kind of hard to pay almost $20 more, 20 some dollars more per share. So that's why he started out with the logical choice. I'll wait. If it goes down to 115, I missed the 115, but even 115 to him is not a big deal. But 115, when you bought it 125, that's a big deal. Or 127 or 129, that's a big deal. So that's the difference. And he has every reason to wait. He's already winning. Why does he need to deploy some more money into something that gives him no real value other than instead of a 90 some dollar cost average, moves him into $100 per share? That's what my argument is with gold and silver. How do I buy at a high price? The only way I'm winning, obviously, is at the end. They're saying how later when it's $250 or $300 a share, whatever the case may be. But all I'm saying is, why give up the $30 per share already? That doesn't make much sense. So I understand why he would make that statement. So everybody, this illustrates everybody doesn't invest at the same rate or the same timeline, because not everybody's in the same situation. Not everybody bought at 95 or 91 or 98. Not everybody bought at 130 either. So everybody reacts differently, and that's what makes the stock market fluctuate, because people are buying and selling based on where they're at. So that's the beauty of this. So once again, thank you so much, Joe Nay. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate that, because again, this is a learning lesson for everybody. As Victor Morrell stated, I'm in this for the long term. Exactly. Nowadays, right? All right. Laverne Penix is also another investor in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And Mr. Cool, business owner, investor in his own right, real estate investor as well. And he's enjoying life out here. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well with this tagline. I received a notification and saw the trailer. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Cool. I appreciate it. And once again, let's keep moving into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going, because we got to read a little bit more just so you guys understand. And here it is, that buyback plan, $50 billion, and they still have $7 billion left over. So these guys are about to spend $57 billion in the next 6 months buying back their own shares. Okay, look at this. Look at this. In fiscal Q2, Nvidia delivered record data center revenue of $26 billion. Sales in the segment rose 16% from fiscal Q1 and 154% from the second quarter of last year. Oh man, this is all good. This is all good. Hopper demand remains strong, and the anticipation of Blackwell is incredible. Yes, I who would not want to be in this enviable position? If you are a company, knowing you have the best stuff, knowing your competitors have to buy from you because otherwise it's bye-bye. They can't keep up. This is beautiful. If I say so myself, this is damn near a monopoly. Except AMD, TSMC. That's all I'm saying. But it's still a damn near monopoly because even those guys haven't caught up with Nvidia yet. Nvidia is now shipping samples of its Blackwell series processors to partners and customers. He made no mention. He left out something. The next generation graphics processing units. Oh, my. Oh, by the way, I guess I should say I'm impartial to Nvidia. You know, some of my software on here is Nvidia. I guess I should say I'm a little partial. And the other funny part is I also have AMD chips here too. Funny how they work together. So that's what makes this very, very interesting. That's why I always mention AMD, TSMC, and Nvidia in the same breath, because they both move on the stock market just like you would want as an owner of their shares. But this buyback is significant, and they left some stuff out so people don't have the graphics. This is beautiful. I love it. Next generation graphics processing units, they're not out. They'll be out next year. Y'all have to buy them. You'll have to get some more to stay up on terms with these guys so you don't get left behind with the computing power. The data centers, that's why they have to see. This is why the data centers have to keep buying, because otherwise another data center gets their stuff. I mean, this is beautiful work. Where do we get this monopoly at, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get it? All right. Now, if you're watching this and you can't get into the chat room, it's only because only members of the channel can be in the chat room. If you're on mobile, then you have to, you'll see a money sign on mobile. That's how you can become a member of the channel. You can always subscribe, though. That is greatly appreciated. And sign up for Robinhood and Webull if you have not already. That is applications for app. It's that simple. All right. You get free shares of stock with them. We'll get into the 99,000. That's right. $99,000 condo, 1 bedroom, not studio, 1 bedroom condo in a place called Seven Palms Elite. They're using this name Elite. You know, I'm trying to get the actual architect of the Seven Palms Elite, because I'm going to show you some pictures that only a broker would have, which you can put out, but they don't have them in the brochure, some of these. And they have pictures of some stuff that could be nice. What I mean is, let me put it to you another way. Longtime listeners, members of the channel know what I say about real estate. Upscale luxury always wins. Scale luxury in real estate, then I know I can always sell it, and I always know the appreciation value increases. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? I have some pictures here. You guys saw at the beginning, I kind of messed it up with the little 1 minute and 30-second video. I'll play it again. better. All right, we can go to the brochure, but 99,000. And oh, by the way, I need to go do a check real quick. Day 2, I forgot to check something. It's down to $116.33. Yeah, by the morning it might be at 115. And that might trigger some margin calls. Let's see here. I want to see if I have anything. Hold on. Is this? Hold on. I'm looking for the price list for 7 Palms Elite. Yeah. The first building, A10, is sold out. The first floor, the 1+1 unit, selling for 135. 1 bedrooms. Oh, those are 2 bedrooms selling for 135. Yeah, that's they should sell. 2 bedrooms for 135. Sure, they're not furnished, but that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. They're not furnished. So you got to have and no appliances. So you have to figure another 15 to 20 grand. But when 2028 comes out, let's call it 20 grand. So 154, 155. I wouldn't mind paying for a 1 bedroom in 2028 because 1 bedrooms are now 170 to 200,000. Sure, some of them are furnished, but still, the price points now is outrageous. It's getting ridiculous in the DR. All right. What I'm going to do is, I forgot, these are different. These are going to be random pictures. They're in no particular order. So I'll just bring them up. I'll be on the screen still. Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, okay. It's the full screen. So tennis court, pickleball court. This is very interesting. And the Zen atmosphere. This is what I like. I like this. This is where I would hang out at. The Zen atmosphere, trees, a little foliage, some waterfalls right here. You know, water's trickling down, quiet, not so much noise. This is what I like. A little upscale luxury, I hope that's what it is, but this would be cool, right? Walkways. This is what I like to see. But again, in the DR, they do things a little bit differently. Let me see if I can do it this way. Now, these areas that I'm watching, that you're seeing, I don't know where they are. That's the thing. I don't know where this is. I can't tell if this is a lobby, if this is just a co-working or seating area. I don't know where this is. That's why I'm trying to get the architect on, because I want to know where these are. This right here, if they actually have this in this complex, this would be awesome. If this is a thing, I don't know what this represents either, because I don't have the overall view of the complex. This here is very interesting. I love it. I love this right here. I love that they have the seating area with potential fire pits. I love the, the loungers that's sitting there. And apparently that looks like there's a building around it, a seating area. I like this. Just chill with your family or friends or neighbors, renters. It doesn't matter. It's like a chill zone. I like if they this like this. This is beautiful. This here, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. That's why I like, what is this? Is this like is this a fountain? Is this a bar? What is this? I mean, clearly it can't be a bar. So it has to be some sort of water feature or fountain or something. I don't know. So again, I don't know where this is. I don't know what's in the background. In the background, that looks like a little pool area. But again, there's another table across the way that has water coming down. Is this actually going to be part of this building complex? Because this looks like a waterfall to me. And then there's water here on the other side of this silver. Is that a walkway? What is that? And there's no reference to that. So I'm anxiously like, man, this thing could actually be something better than expected. all the way around. Okay, again, starting at $99,000 for a 1-bedroom condominium. This is upstairs. This is a penthouse, what they call a 1+1 unit, where they have a jacuzzi. It's what do you call it? I don't know what to really call this. It's like a kind of put together. I need clarification. I don't know if the jacuzzi's included exactly, or if it's already been done for the wiring and for the water and anything else. I don't know what they're doing. All right. Now, what I do know is on the left-hand side where they have the curtains, that is a bedroom. And there's a bathroom upstairs. You can put in a barbecue area where the seating is upstairs. So you have one bathroom downstairs, one bathroom upstairs. Can you believe these are $180,000, which would be considered a 2-bedroom penthouse? That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's an unheard of price right now, and even a little less than that. So we'll get into that shortly. This here, the seating area, I don't know which unit this is, but if they actually have this type of tall ceilings, which is what they do in their townhomes, they usually do like 10-foot ceilings or roughly thereabout. So if they do this in these condos, this would be great. And they have these windows like this and a bookshelf and this type of seating and this type of area and this design. This works very well. Again, I don't know what unit this goes to, but once again, this has potential to be pretty good. And then this just shows a balcony area on this next one, I believe, coming up. What's happening? There we go. Okay, a small, that's on the second floor probably. So that's just a small patio area. And here is downstairs, which just shows you have your own little terrace, and your bedroom and your living room comes off into the terrace. And you can put in a jacuzzi if you want to. Once again, we have a few people that rent here. And you know what's interesting? In fact, out of all the years that I've been doing rentals, anybody that has a jacuzzi, when they first got it, they were hyped. After they were renting for 2 years, I've never had one person say, hell yeah, man, I need to keep this. Most often I hear, I need to get rid of this. That's what people are like. I either take the water out, don't advertise it, don't say it's even here. So that way when people come, it's here, but we don't use it. And that's their whole thing. They usually don't even use them, because once they realize in order to have a jacuzzi, you have to maintain it at a heat level. It's no good to have it at 85 degrees when it takes maybe 2 or 3 degrees per hour to heat up. And most people want over 96, 97, 98 degrees. So you have to keep it in the 90s just in case you rent it. Just in case. That's the point. You don't know. All of a sudden you have people renting it, and then you don't know, somebody's not going to rent it for 10 days or 7 days. What are you going to do? Keep the electricity on? See, that's where the problem comes in. And then as it gets older, you have repairs. And then you got upkeep. And then you're going to start saying, well, you got to change the water sometime, right? Chemicals or something has to be in there if you're going to having other people use it. So all of a sudden you start getting all these maintenance fees for unnecessary reasons, in my view. And so that's why I rarely hear people saying I want to keep it if they have a choice to take it out or leave it. This right here, again, I don't know what this is. What I'm seeing here, I don't know what this picture represents. It looks like, wherever it is, it almost looks like just a seating area, because if somebody's living room has this type of curtains that's recessed and it actually ends up being something like this would be awesome. But that's why I think this is a general population seating myself. That's what I think this is. But we will see. I need to know more. But that's all we have right now, I think. There's nothing else. Let me see what this next picture is. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Okay, this is not anything. Let me know. Okay, this is cute. Very cute. All right. Let me see if I still have this. Let me see. Do I have the brochure up still? Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. I can't show you anymore because there's nothing else. Those are the pictures that aren't in the brochure. That's the best we can do right now. Let's see. That's our Barella. So that's not any good. I don't want that. I don't want any of that. If we have a price. Nope. I don't have the price up here for this. There's a reason. I know why I don't. Let me get some prices up so I'll let everybody see just in case you're interested. They want 20% down, 40% during construction, 40% on delivery. Delivery is May 2028 for the first phase that they're selling right now. That's not, I mean, that's over 3 years. That's 36 months plus about another 8 months. So that's 43 payments. 40% on just the cheapest unit is $40,000. So that means your payment's under $1,000 because you owe 40,000 and you have 43 or 44 months. So that's pretty good. That's real good, actually. Let me see if I can pop this up. Doggone it. I don't know if that's going to work. Okay. That's not going to work. Gentlemen were up already, but they were not. This is Elite. Here's Elite. All right, here we go. Think I have something. Yeah, I know I have the brochure. We'll get into that, but I'm looking for the price list. I don't really need the others. I'm looking for a price list. Huh. Okay, let's see if this is the one. This is the price list. We'll get into it then. See if this is the brochure. Yes, that's the brochure. And let's see. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. This is Inside Vista whatsoever. Why are we slow tonight? Okay, I'll take that off. Take this off. Take these all off. Second, what I'll do is this. I'll just throw down a little, Okay, we'll throw down a little video. Do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Paul Castillo has showed up. He was with us on the afternoon edition. Paul Castillo, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation family. I just picked up some Nvidia stocks today at 116 a share. He said he had an alert at 116, and yes, it dropped to 115 and some change now. So great job. He did the after hours, and he got himself to 116. If it drops more, I'm definitely buying more, obviously. Great job, Paul Castillo. Very well done. And by the way, Mr. Cool loves his Tesla. I want to point out something. Tesla went down to the low 100s. Tesla went back up into the 200s. Then it moved back down to the low 200s. Somebody who bought under 200, like 120, 117, 115, they're still loving life. I'm sure a lot of people do not mind 80% return over a year. Let's get real. All right, come on. So if Tesla continues to drop, a lot of people are still winning heavily. So just had to bring that up because Joe Nay is making his, or Paul Castillo is making his mark. He's saying, hey, I want to buy at this level. That's what the alert is. He's buying it. And if it goes down more, he's saying, I'm buying some more. My dollar cost average going down. We love that, right? That's the direction we want. We want to get our dollar cost average lower and lower and lower. That's what we want to do. All right. Let's go. We got real estate to talk about. Punta Cana, upscale luxury. Is it that or is it not that? Does anybody have any idea of what they think this property is? Is this really upscale or not? I can't really tell other than some of the pictures show a little. We like this type of just not ordinary, just calm. We want something inspirational, right? So let's see what we got here. This is in Spanish still. So here, oh yeah, that's right. This is not a picture. This is pretty cool. This is clearly in a lobby atmosphere. All I know right now is what's in the brochure. All right. I was on the Spanish language Zoom call, but unfortunately I don't speak Spanish. All right. But that looks like a lobby area to me. You saw a picture here of the lower and then the second floor. And then here's the third floor, which is going to have the penthouse units up top. And you can tell the small sitting area. But, you know, if you're not familiar with Vista Cana, there's several things. They're telling us the convenient location, supermarket 5 minutes away, discotheques also 7 minutes away, restaurants 5 minutes away, pharmacy 5 minutes away, central medical hospital 5 minutes away, Bavaro Beach 5 to 8 minutes away, airport 10 to 15 minutes away, park, which is like downtown and around the city. They have different parks. Service station 1 minute away because yeah, it's on as soon as you get outside on the highway, then it's probably 100 yards down. There's also restaurants inside Vista Cana. There's also no pharmacy, but there's going to be some retail locations inside Vista Cana, like somebody has the scooter business they have started. The electric scooter business has started inside Vista Cana. They have restaurants. They have the Vista Cana Beach Club. They have going to have 2 saltwater lakes. 1 saltwater lake is already built. So that helps out. That's why they mentioned some of these amenities. They have equestrian center. And if you want to go horseback riding, that's going to cost. If you want to take equestrian lessons, that's going to cost. You have a gym. This looks like an open air gymnasium. That's interesting. I don't know where that is, but we do know at the sports complex, maybe that's where they're talking about. Maybe it's going to be open air instead of inside. But at the sports complex, they have a bunch of other things like basketball court, soccer field, the sports zone, right? So the gymnasium, open air gymnasium, I don't know where that is. Sendero Ecological Trail, which is nice. The park, which is nice. The kids' playground area, the pet area, and a central park. Nice. So all this is inside, along with Vista Cana Beach Club 1 and Vista Cana Beach Club 2 when they make the second saltwater man-made beach. And restaurants are also at the Vista Cana Beach Club, and Yak Lounge is also at the first man-made beach, which exists right now. The Vista Cana Beach Club exists right now with the pool, with the fitness room, cardio, with the children's playground area, and a kiddie pool. All of this is in no additional cost to owners. The only things that cost additional is equestrian center, horseback riding, or going to play golf. Everything else, once you're in the compound, you have full use, whether you're owner or renter. All right, which is the beautiful thing for marketing this. Some more amenities. Hold on. The ones on site, Campo de Golf, I mentioned. I've been going all over the place. The golf I've mentioned. So you guys already know about that. That I've talked about already because that was a picture. Now the chess, this chess area, I don't know where that is. Is this even a thing, or is this just renderings? Because of course it's images. Here's the private beach area. There's two of them. And oh, I forgot about the fishing club. There's also a freshwater lake and an island in the middle of the lake, which has its fishing club, which also has restrooms, a little bar, and charcoal cooking area, so you can fish and eat over there. I don't know if you actually need to be part of the club, pay for the club, but as of right now, you can actually kayak over to it. I mean, it's not like it's manned or any security or anything. Anybody can go there if you can get there. So that's pretty cool. This is a aerial shot above the man-made beach. What you're looking at is right in front. The brown is by the Yak Lounge, which is a bar, coffee in the morning, alcohol in the afternoon to evening, little eating, hors d'oeuvres, I'll call it there. Then you walk this way, and there's a Volare restaurant, and they have excellent food there. So you don't have to leave the compound. And they just started working on the shopping center at the beginning of the entrance of Vista Cana. All right, just starting to lay the groundwork. What more can you ask for, ladies and gentlemen? What can you ask for? All right, Eric, let's go. Let's see what he's got. Paul Castillo. Eric, I almost bought at Seven Palms a year ago. I backed out because it doesn't include white line. Exactly. A year ago, it didn't make sense because a one bedroom you could buy under 100,000, and one bedrooms you can buy for 118,000 last year, with like what E White has, a swim up bar at Riviera Costeño, swim up unit, a one bedroom swim up unit for 118,000. So there was no reason to buy a one bedroom for 120, 118,000 with white line, with no white line. That made no sense. When you can buy 118,000 Riviera Costeño one bedroom swim up with white line. So the pricing was all off. But now you can't buy a one bedroom for 118 anymore, anywhere hardly. Now you have to spend 130, 140, 170, 200. So now when somebody says 99 grand, okay, I'll spend 15K. So it's going to cost me 15K to get my kitchen hooked up. Okay. Now it makes sense. But back then it didn't make sense because now 115, 118, where can you get a one bedroom for? Studios cost that now. So the only place you can get one like that, oh, well, they don't have one bedrooms, Cruise on Land. They have studio units for under 100 grand. But there's a reason. You're almost locked into a condo hotel, or you rent it yourself if you're not in that hotel building. But nonetheless, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I understand. That's why. And their contract isn't locked. That's the other thing, right? It was 3.5% ICDV at the time. This contract, you need to negotiate because they have ICDV in there, but they don't have any caps. So you need to negotiate caps. So that's the second thing that you need to do with this Seven Palms contract now. And of course, it's hard to say. It's 4 years from now, almost. Obviously, it's going to cost more to build next year than it costs this year. And obviously, 3 years from now, it's going to cost more to build. And they're not building next month. They're not. Otherwise, they'd be finished well before 4 years or 43, 44 months. So that's one of the reasons. So, but now, if you buy at 99, if you buy at 120, adding on 20, 30 grand, it's in the ballpark. It's in the ballpark now. Because once you add the white line in, now that's why you're paying 150 to 200 and 225 for one bedrooms now. Depends on where it is. Inside Vista Cana, this is a value that nobody can match because of all the amenities, and it's a community as well to boot. So it's going to be very interesting what the value of Vista Cana properties end up being down the line. I think it's going to be very nice, personally. All right, so they're just showing the amenities once again. And why didn't this move? Are we at the end? Oh, that's why it didn't move. We were at the end. No, that's not the end, because it shows the it should have shown the 20-40-40 payment plan. If you need a different payment plan, let me know. You can hit me up at support@stopstrugglingnow.com, or you can hit me up on WhatsApp. It's that simple. All right. Our WhatsApp information is down below in the description box. I'm going to put it in the chat room. But in my opinion, for those of you who have waited all this time, this 7 Palms is a very good one for waiting 43 months. This is one of the best ones, because then you don't have this 2-year, 30-month thing. Then you get to, 12 months before and you're like, hey, are you guys going to finish this thing? You don't have to worry about that. You have almost 4 years, and the value is going to increase over time. Yes, you're going to have to pay more. You're probably going to end up paying, in my estimation, 130 after you get your white line, but it's be 130. But it's going to be well worth it, because 4 years from now, one bedrooms are going to be in the 200,000 range easily. So you're making a small hedge against values that already exist. And in 4 years, I can't guess. I can't guess if a one bedroom is going to be 250,000, 200,000, 199, or 300,000. Because I would have never guessed that a 2-bedroom would be $350,000 right now, fully furnished. I would have never guessed that a year ago. I would have said, okay, yeah, maybe 270 to 300, but not 350 to 360. So see, that's where this is ultimately probably going to end up going. Here's the chat room. Go check the chat room, the WhatsApp. Now I'm going to put you into the prices so everybody can see this is no joke. This is for real. There's only a few 99,000 units left. $99,000 one-bedroom units left, not condos, one-bedrooms. That's what makes this very, very interesting. Look at this. 1+1 patio, 1+1 patio, 1+1 patio, 135. Terrace, yes. Patio, yes. I mean, that is a deal, because that's a 2-bedroom. The only thing is, this right here makes a little sense to me, because it's a 2-bedroom but only has 1 bath. And I am not a fan of 2 bedrooms and a bath. Or maybe somebody does a 1-bedroom and an office. But why would you do that when you can make it a 2-bedroom? So the only thing that makes sense at that point is, why not go upstairs and get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath penthouse unit? So then you have a bath on the first floor and a bedroom, and a bath on the second floor and a bedroom, and decks on both floors. So that makes more sense. And especially when we start talking about 179,000 for the ones building A10, A11, A12, A13. The buildings that are A1, 2, 3, and 4, they're 185,000 for some weird reason. And what's even better, a 1-bedroom on the second floor is $104,000. And then there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 one-bedrooms on the second or third floor for $99,000. There's 3 left at the $99,000 mark. Even 105 on the second or third floor is pretty good. So the fourth floor actually has the penthouse. So it's 5 levels high. I thought it was 3 floors and then the penthouse. So I wasn't even paying attention. So anyhow, these are pretty good prices in my opinion. You have a penthouse unit. If you want a jacuzzi, it's wired up. If you want to add a barbecue grill, it's wired up. What more can you say? And they're small. They're not that big of units. I mean, you know, overall, they include terrace space and everything, 900 square feet for the penthouse unit. But these are rentable units. I don't recommend, if you want to live in these units, that's not recommended. The reason why I say that is because I say this about all of these. Unless it's 13, 14, 1,500 square feet, you don't have the space. Because one of my pet peeves is, here I am hanging out. I'm living in Vista Cana that has lakes, freshwater and saltwater. Either I'm swimming in them or I'm taking out something. Hey, I might even do kayaking on an enclosed lake. I might go out there once a year or twice a year. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I have nowhere to store it. They don't have closets or storage areas in all of these complexes. There's no garages, so you don't have a storage area. I mean, so you have to keep these things in mind. These are generally short-term rentals. But at these price points, you're doing great. A 2-bedroom unit that's inside Vista Cana, I think I'm going to be able to get $200 per night. I think so. 4 years from now, without a doubt, I have no doubt that I'll get more than 200 per night, which puts us in my 0.1% range, because that's what I want. If I buy it for 185, I want $185,000. I want to be able to rent it for 185. 4 years from now, I think I'll be able to rent for more than that in Dominican Republic, inside Vista Cana, which by then, Second Man-Made Beach will be made. The shopping center up front will be made. Some of the other projects that are not complete right now will be totally complete, which will be about another 15 projects and homes and townhomes and villas and all kinds of things like that. So the place is going to look totally different from what it looks like now in 4 years. And you're going to be able to take advantage, because now you'll have the Second Man-Made Beach, you'll have the equestrian center, the golf course will be in full effect. And now all of a sudden you'll see more things happening within inside. The sports complex will be built. So all of that you'll be able to take advantage of for marketing purposes. And if you want to live there, so be it. But nonetheless, it's not conducive for that. All right, Seven Palms is definitely in a great location. When I visited Vista Cana last year, if I'm not mistaken, it's right across from the Second Man-Made Beach. Okay, there are some other ones. Seven Palms Luxury is across from the Second Man-Made Beach. Seven Palms Adventure is across from the Second Man-Made Beach. That reminds me, you just reminded me of something, because the locations, I don't have the map. Let me see if I have the map. I do have the map. Here we go. Open the map. Good. Let me see if I can get this map up. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Now, the other ones across from the Second Man-Made Beach, those cost more. A 1-bedroom there on the second floor is going to cost you $130,000. All right. And a 1-bedroom on the third floor is going to cost you $146,000 for these Seven Palms Luxury and Seven Palms Adventure, if you want to have man-made beach view, which is a great deal, quite frankly. And you're by this out of the second gate. That's where the second security gate's going to be nearby. I'd say probably like 100 yards down. So that's a great location to be in. And you can market it with beach view. And the funny thing is, they're going to have a cafe at Seven Palms Adventure. They're going to have their own cafe. It's just the delivery is in December 2026, which is only like 20. You're going to have about 27, 28 payments, which is still pretty good, which is great, actually. I mean, there's nothing to not write home about. That's a marketing. That's good, great marketing for you with Beachview. And if you don't want to take those, then you can get the ones in the back. But the penthouse units at those locations are 249,000, 250,000 if you want the beach view. And if you want the backyard view, as they call it, parking lot type view or side view, then you're going to spend 199 for a 2-bedroom. So again, you walk across the street to the man-made beach. Again, that has caveat, and it has its own cafe. It does have a pool. It does have a clubhouse. It does have a water park with a zip line. I don't know what that means, but apparently there's some sort of zip line. I don't know. Who's going to man that? Who knows? But those are the ones you're talking about. Seven Palms Elite is new, and it's going to be close to the sports complex. I'm going to pull this up now. And what do I mean close? It looks like, if I had to guess, it looks like it's about 300 yards away if you have to walk, based on the picture. That's what it looks like to me. You can judge for yourself. Look here. See, this right here is, let me see if I can get this up bigger. Hold on. Let me see if you guys can see this. Yep. Okay, can I get this? Where's my, there it is. Okay, here's Seven Palms Elite. Here's the sports complex. Once you come off the sports complex, you walk down the street. So see, you're right here. That looks to be only like a couple hundred yards. Although I don't know where the entrance will be for the sports complex. It has to be surrounded, right? So whether it's going to be 100 yards, 150 yards, or you have to walk around to a front or something, who knows? But I don't see why it would be enclosed because it's available to everybody. You don't need ID, I don't think, to get in. So I don't know why it wouldn't just be open on certain areas on this side. But if it's open, according to this would only be like 100 yards. And look where the second man-made beach is, and look where the first one is. This is almost the best location you can be in, because once you walk straight down this road, you are near that man-made beach, or you come down through here and you walk to the first one. Either way, you're almost in the best location, because the golf course, you walk right down here and you're at the golf course. Guess where, let me see, Sabana should be, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Sabana. That should not be Sabana. There's a little, this is interesting. I think Sabana's down here. I think this is where it's at. So you're in a great central location, so to speak, where you can get around. So just my 2 cents. Here's where Seven Palms Luxury is, and this right here, and Seven Palms Adventure is here. And then they have villas, which one villa's left. Seven Palms Prime starting at $289,000. They have their own gates to get in, and their own clubhouse. The Privy Villas, they can use the amenities at Adventure and Luxury, but Luxury and Adventure owners cannot use the amenities of the villas. You can't go to their clubhouse. Luxury and Adventure, they're side by side. They say that you'll be able to use each other's amenities, but what does that mean? That means you each have a pool. The Adventure has a cafe, restaurant, cafe type, and they have their own water park. And it says zip line, which I'm still curious about. How are we going to zip line across the front? That's weird. But if they do that, and they can pull that off, that would be a great marketing tool. If you have a zip line and you have a water feature for the kids that are seemingly probably under like 10 years old or so, that is cool that it's right out front. And then it's cool that the lake is across the street. All I'm saying. The school, they don't show on here. The school is like, Ashton School is like right in here somewhere. It's a little ways down. It's right in here in this block It's either this block or this block. It's somewhere in here. This is just a rendering, but still, it's somewhere in this block here is where the Ashton School is going to be. So you might be that may be advantageous if you live there. But once again, being across the street from the man-made beach is advantageous for marketing and renting. So hopefully you guys like that. Okay, that's the great location. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, please do so now. Otherwise, you're going to have to see me on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we talk a little bit about what we have to do to make more money in the future, because you have to. Time is ticking. The clock is ticking. You got to make money work for you. Otherwise, you will not be able to earn another 10, 20, 30% over the next 3 years. Nobody's giving you a raise. And if you're in business for yourself, you're always at high risk year over year, year over year. So again, you have to have money working for you while you sleep. Okay. With all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, you know it's hard out here. There's no dispute about that. Rising cost, inflation is rising cost. All rising cost, whether it's $5 here, $3 there, $20 there, before you know it, it's an extra $300 a month. All that is coming into play, and it's not going to stop. The trillionaires, these trillionaire corporations, they raise their prices every year for their shareholders. So you have no choice but to pay more, because there's only a few corporations that control the market. This isn't like 1970 where you had 10 companies that were competing for the dollar. These guys have merged, and there's like 3 or 4 companies that control most of the industries. So they all collude. There's only like 3 people to talk to. Hey, man, why are we going to charge $5 each when all we have to do is we just raise ours like another $2, and we all charge either within the same 50 cents to $1 range. You guys good with that? And that way we just increased our profit by 50% for that item. Of course they're going to be good with that. That's why you see when I went down the nut aisle the other day and I see some nuts and it said $7.99 for a can of nuts that used to be $2.99, $3. I'm like, what is this? $8? Crazy. That's ridiculous, right? So these are the type of things we have to deal with going forward, and you're going to have to make more money. Let's just call it what it is. 200,000 by 2027 has to be your annual income, your annual household income. You and another person, you and 3 people, you and 4 people. That's what it's going to have to be, because you have to put money into the stock market to make money for you. And the new numbers are top 10% of the wealthiest own 93% of all stocks. It went up from 89% just from 2022. This is outrageously bad. Wealth inequality is not good for you, not good for us, not good for the country as a whole. We have to have wealth equality. You cannot have it in the hands of a few. That is a recipe for oligarchs, Russia, bad news. I use Russia because there's other countries that do the same thing. Venezuela is one of those countries. All the countries that have these regimes that are not really democratic, they really have oligarchs. All the countries that have democracies, we don't call them oligarchs, but we have billionaires who control government and can bribe the government, right? They are oligarchs, but not like how in Russia or Venezuela or some other countries where they can just rock with the government and be like, hey, man, hey, just change this for me. I'll give you like $200 million. We'll both make more money, that kind of stuff. But we're getting close to that. We're getting awfully close. So we got to do wealth inequality like ASAP. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on Friday night. I'll be dropping another video tomorrow, so please don't miss it. I don't know what it's going to be on, quite frankly. It'll probably be on Nvidia, which we've already kind of talked about it. my point of views about that right now, but we'll see how Nvidia shakes out tomorrow. Maybe it goes down to 114. We'll see. More buying opportunity, hopefully. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here. You never know what somebody else is doing, what they're going through. And I love you guys very much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. Make sure you share the videos. Tell everybody to come watch us, because no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry is what's going on here. You can invest in stocks. You can invest in dividend funds. You can invest in real estate with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers. Only you are stopping you. And with all that said, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.